It's your girl Chef Jazz here, owner of Green Panther Chef, where we normalize cooking with cannabis. On that note, I want to show you highlight some very simple recipes that you can actually start cooking with cannabis from home today. This is actually something that I love to do for dinner parties because it's really simple, it's really easy. People think that you spend all day inside of the kitchen, but it only takes like 10 minutes to put together. All of the oven basically does the work, and then you want to get some things that are already store-bought from the store. So what's store-bought already prepared is our puff pastry. I actually let that thaw inside of the oven, or in the oven. I just let that thaw inside of the refrigerator, and then I'm actually able to roll it out. If you want to do your own puff pastry, which I absolutely love, I'll leave the link below as far as for the recipe. All right, because if you really want to do it like your own infused butter inside of the puff pastry, it's really good. All right, so what I'm gonna do is just basically roll this out over a floured surface. And I basically want to make this wide enough that it can wrap around the whole entire brie. So my brie is about this size here. So I want to make sure that I can fully accommodate that, and then I have enough room that I can actually wrap the cheese into the puff pastry. All right. You want to make sure that this is pretty even as well as far as rolling it out. You just want to make sure it's like the same thickness, because you don't want doughy spots, undercooked spots, just all of that stuff, right? All right, that looks pretty good to me. I'm going to be using a cast iron skillet. Reason being is because it's actually like the perfect size for the brie, and like when the puff pastry expands, it's just a good situation. So this is already greased, and we're just going to add our puff pastry right into that cast iron skillet. All right, so we're going to create some layers here. I'm going to be using an infused sugar actually instead of the puff pastry. If you want to know the recipes or anything like that, make sure you check out greenpantherchef.com or just click any of the links below, because you'll find all the information there. All right, so on the bottom, I like to add just a little bit of sugar, because that's when it starts to caramelize and all of that good stuff just begins to happen when you add it to the bottom. And simple as that. You add your whole brie directly into the pan. And I love brie because it's a soft cheese, right? So when it melts, it's just divine. I'm going to top it with just a little bit more of our sugar. Cinnamon and nutmeg has already been added as well, and that just adds like a really great flavor. You can add berries to this. I know some people do. You can add chopped nuts if you want at this point as well. I'm going to omit those, and I'm just going to wrap it up. All right. So like I said, you do want to have at least you want your puff pastry to be rolled out even, and you want it to be a little bit larger than your actual brie. So you have enough room where you can kind of like just tuck the baby, you know? All right. It doesn't need to be fancy. It just needs to be sealed, because the cheese is actually going to become softer. Brie is already a soft cheese, but once we put it inside of the oven, it just becomes softer. So you want to make sure that you have a nice tight seal, and you're in a pan that's kind of contained as well, like this cast iron skillet. Just going to make sure all of those are sealed. Beautiful. This already has so much butter that is already in it. I'm just going to brush it with a little bit of egg wash really quickly. So I'm actually going to prepare that. As far as for an egg wash, I mean, it sounds exactly how it sounds, right? So basically what it is egg and just a little bit of water. let you guys leave in the comments what I'm doing wrong right now. All right, so if you want to add just like a little bit of more caramelization on top, I would top it with sugar, but you have all of that goodness on the inside. Just throw it inside the oven. All right, so I'm gonna let that hang out inside of our oven for about 45 minutes. And so come back, make sure you check it out as I pull it all together. All right, guys. All right, so we are now ready to take our baked brie out of the oven. It's been hanging out in there for about 40 minutes now. So let's see how it looks. Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. And this is going to be extremely hot. Oh, I have to let you see that. Let's let that chill right on top or right inside of the pan. But this is a perfect opportunity to kind of dress it, right? So we're going to top it off with just some of our fresh berries. And really get the juice. These are actually been soaking just a little bit of our cannabis sugar, our fresh berries. So it's really just going to add like that nice flavor as well. Oh, I love that smell. That's just a hot pan. Take a little bit of that juice. And so inside of the brie, it's a soft cheese already. And we already have that beautiful sugar. We have the cinnamon in there as well. We're going to top it with our berries. I'm just going to let it hang out on the pan just for a moment before we actually serve it. I love to top the berries right as it comes out of the oven because it just soaks up all of that goodness. It's like putting salt on fried food as soon as it comes out the fryer. Like, it's like a marriage made in heaven. All right, so I'm gonna let this hang out, guys. So if you have any questions or anything like that, make sure you leave them in the comments. I will definitely try my best to address any questions whenever you are watching this. But yeah. All right, I'm gonna see if I can actually move it. All right. You extremely want to be delicate with this, of course. Reason being is because you're dealing with a puff pastry and it's already flaky, right? That wasn't too bad. I'm gonna top it off with more of those berries that may have fallen off. Yummers. I love a good strawberry. Who doesn't love strawberries? I love strawberries. This is great just for dinner parties. Something that's really simple, right? They would think that you spent all day in the kitchen actually preparing something that took you, what, 5 minutes to prepare, and then the oven did all of the work. All right, guys, so this is super simple, easy, great for a dinner party. Baked brie. We're topping it off with some of our berries. But if you love this recipe, or if you want any more recipes, make sure you check out greenpantherchef.com because we have so much in store there. Once again, I am your girl, Chef Jazz, and I hope to see you again soon.